Thank you for joining NAA's daily micro webinar series. My name is Stephanie Anderson, and I am the Industry Operations Manager here at the National Apartment Association. In an effort to provide our membership with timely operational guidance amid COVID-19, we are producing these daily updates in the form of micro webinars. Each day, we will focus on a different topic relevant to the apartment industry. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to the screen. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. Today, I am excited to welcome Katie Rigsby, National Speaker and President of Katie Rigsby Inspires LLC. Katie will be sharing her expert knowledge on quarantine marketing, an opportunity for turning isolation into action. Katie, thank you so much for being here today and welcome.
Thank you, Stephanie, and welcome multifamily superstars. Whether you're working from home or you're practicing social distancing while working from the office, there's no denying that our daily routines have been turned upside down. So while COVID-19 has brought on many challenges and even heartbreaks, it has also provided opportunities for us to learn new skills and find new ways to connect. So we're looking for new and different ways to connect with customers and draw in new leads today. And I want to encourage you to spend your time in isolation on these 5 actionable marketing strategies that I'm going to share with you today. And if you want some more information beyond this, you can text the word INSPIRED to 33777 to get a copy of my 12-step marketing plan. That's INSPIRED to 33777. All right, so let's get to it. Your first action item is to research useful and reliable content that can be shared with both current and potential residents. You want to keep in mind that we have to market to our current residents to obtain renewals and referrals, just like we would market to our potential customers. So there's information out there, and we can kind of be easily overwhelmed by everything that's in the media right now. And your customers are already familiar with you. They already have a trusted resource in you. Hopefully you've developed a trusting relationship. So being able to provide them with valuable information is really doing them a service. So there's all kinds of information that you can provide, but I've given you a short list here to get you started. So some of the stuff that you want to share internally with your residents, maybe on a portal or a resident-only accessible site, are going to be like useful tips, things to help them get through the day, maybe ways to maintain their apartment on their own. And then there's going to be other things that you want to share to the general public so that they can see that living at your site has added value and that you're a reliable resource that people seek out in times of need. So a couple of things that you can share with them are local COVID updates. That's probably the most obvious of them. A great thing you can do is offer rental assistance resources so that they can easily access this information without having to go to all kinds of different sites. A lot of people are looking for jobs right now. So even though there's platforms where they can look for a job, if you can be a resource, even if you're just highlighting a different job opportunity once a day, could be helpful to your residents and even your potential residents. Mental health resources. There's a lot of people who are suffering right now with depression, anxiety, and these are things that a lot of times people are afraid to talk about, and they don't necessarily know, or they wouldn't go out and find the resources on their own. So if that's something that you can provide and help them with, then it helps you become a very trusted resource in their life. The fun things to share, recipes. I don't know about any of you, but for me, I love cooking, but I am terrible about knowing what to mix together. So I live and die by a recipe. And there's a lot of people who are forced to be cooking at home right now because maybe they don't have the money to eat out. So now's the time to really give them some resources with some recipes. They say laughter is the best medicine, right? So sharing funny stories, maybe humorous articles, things that you kind of made you chuckle and brought joy to your life is a great way to help your residents. DIY projects. People are homeschooling, they're spending more time at home. So if you can provide some DIY projects for them that are inexpensive and fairly easy to do, then it, again, creates an opportunity to connect with people on a more personal level. You know, I don't know how many of you have ever seen that show on Netflix called Nailed It, but it is an amazingly funny show, and I think it would be great if we shared a DIY project with our residents and then kind of created an issue of Nailed It where they shared their photos and things, and you just made a competition out of it. Another thing that you can do is provide them with daily activities or challenges to help fight the boredom, but also keep their minds going. So there's a lot of things that you can do to become a reliable resource for your residents. My next action item for you is to master a social media platform. So you may be using different platforms for the first time, or you may be a steady contributor that has basic knowledge. But now is the time to learn the ins and the outs of your algorithms, explore new features, and dig into your analytics. Now, don't go crazy on me. Limit it to one platform. Don't try to become an expert of everything, but focus on one platform and get really, really good at that. So I have a few resources to help you get started and learn more about maybe some of the platforms that you might be using, considering using in the future. The first site that I'm going to share with you is the socialmediaexplorer.com. This is a great slide to take a screenshot of because you're going to want to use these links later on. So screenshot this one. Social Media Explorer is full of resources, blogs, and information for all things social media. You will go into this site and you'll look up 2 or 3 hours later and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I got sucked in, because there's just so much valuable information there. A lot of properties and companies are using TikTok right now, and they're doing it well, creating a lot of content that's being shared and that's really engaging with their customers. So if you haven't stepped out to the TikTok platform, there's a great article on how to do that. Then you have Social Media 101. This is a quick starter for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, YouTube, and even Google My Business. So check out these links and start that process of mastering a social media platform. Action item number 3 is to complete a thorough website review. With websites being leaned on now more than ever, now is the time to review your site for accessibility compliance. You want to make sure that persons with disabilities have the ability to easily navigate on your site, but also have an equal and positive experience on your site. On April 20th of this year, HUD announced that it was awarding $1.5 million, that's with an M, million dollars in special funds for fair housing assistance programs and educational activities related to COVID-19. So what that means is that there's going to be more testers out there, and they're going to be focusing specifically on COVID-19. It's going to be a lot easier for people to access you because our interactions are happening virtually. They can screenshot what you're doing, and they can easily share it with mass media. So it's important that we pay attention to this right now. NAA did a really great job of addressing this issue in the June 2019 Units Magazine publication. And you can look up that article, Website Accessibility Compliance for Apartment Communities, on their website. I highly recommend that you do that. The next thing that you can do for your website is put out fresh new photos. With the closing of amenities and the reduction of foot traffic, the hope is that your support staff has been working on some of your deferred projects and that your property is looking better than ever. So now flowers are blooming and there isn't much movement on site, and we have more daylight than we did before. So there is no better time than the present to take fresh, new photos. So make sure that you have new photos that really make your property shine online, because this might be the only way that people are actually able to view it before moving in. The next thing you want to do is review and update your website content. Many of you are making changes to your website, or many of you are making changes to the way you're doing business and the content that you're putting out there. And so it's important that you have those changes reflected on your website. So make sure that there's good, valuable information. And even if you're not the person who typically updates the website, you can still read it, review it, and say, hey, I see a misspelled word. Hey, the grammar's incorrect here. Hey, we no longer offer this. It's like this now. So be that person to review it and pass your notes on to the appropriate person. And the last thing I'll tell you about your website review is to focus on SEO, your search engine optimization. So remember, action item number 1, being a valuable resource. And then action item number 2, mastering social media. These things will help increase your SEO. You can also incorporate videos to your websites and your social media platforms. This is an awesome opportunity to create how-to videos. Maintenance can create how-to videos on how to plunge a toilet. You can create videos about how to apply online. Anything that you can do, it doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be a master performance, you don't have to be a great actor, but just putting something out there that's helpful to people so that they know, hey, if I want information on this topic, I can go to this community and they have the details. So complete a thorough website review. My action item number 4 is to advertise in mobile games and videos. So interestingly enough, the average user in 2019 spent 3.7 hours per day on their mobile device. Now, that means that for the average individual, pretty much a quarter of their day was spent looking at their mobile device. And according to App Annie, they just did research on Q1 of 2020, and they've seen that users spent a 20% more time on their Android devices in the first quarter of 2020 as they did in the first quarter of 2019. So it's obvious that COVID-19 has increased mobile usage well over 3.7 hours per day. Another interesting tidbit of information is that in 2019, there were 204 billion worldwide downloads onto mobile devices. People are downloading apps to these devices. And 72% of App Store spending was spent on games. So that means that there's a great opportunity for us as industry professionals to tap into mobile games. That's where people are spending money. That's where people are spending their time. And if we want to advertise to them, we need to take advantage of that untapped market. And right now is a good time to do that because there aren't a lot of marketing dollars being spent. And so you can get discounted rates when it comes to marketing. Action item number 5 is to do something for the greater good. Now, we all know about the car manufacturers making safety equipment, the beer companies making hand sanitizer, and we've heard about the landlord in New York who waived April rent for over 200 residents. Camden Property Trust launched a $5 million program to provide financial support for residents who were affected by COVID-19. And you may not have the authority or the means to make a move like that, but you can give back for the sake of others. And this is another slide that's worth taking a screenshot of because I've provided you with some great links where you can tap into maybe some virtual volunteering, but I've also provided you with a few simple ideas that you can do either by yourself or with your entire team, or even get your entire property involved. I mean, just think about it. What if all of your residents at your property adopted a local nursing home and you all sent letters to the seniors in that nursing home? Think about the joy that you would bring. Some of those people don't have family at all that ever reach out to them. And so this is an opportunity for you to do something for the greater good. Help with homeschooling. Maybe you're providing some sort of activity once a day for 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe picking up prescriptions for those who are unable to leave their homes. So I encourage you to do something for the greater good. So just to recap, I've given you 5 actionable marketing strategies. Number 1, research and share content regularly. Number 2, master a social media platform. Number 3, complete a thorough website review. Number 4, advertise in mobile games and applications. And number 5, do something for the greater good. I love this quote, the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing. And that's the key. When we market, we want to change the way people feel. We want people to feel differently about us, to trust us, to become loyal customers. If you've seen the recent Frito-Lay ads where they are kind of telling the general public the different things that they've done during COVID-19, one of the last things they say in their commercial is, it's not about brands, it's about people. And so today, after I've shared these 5 actionable items with you, I want you to turn your isolation into action. I pray that you and your families are all healthy and that your teams remain strong, and that you will remember that, like the coronavirus, kindness is easily spread. Thank you guys. Have a great day and be inspired.
Thanks so much, Katie, for that great presentation. Your energy and ideas have gotten myself excited, as I'm sure our members as well, about where we can take our marketing and some really neat things to try. So thank you so much again for sharing. And for everyone that attended today's micro webinar, we appreciate you being here today. And should you have any questions related to coronavirus, please feel free to email the address on the screen. Also, we encourage you to view our coronavirus and guidance and resources page on NAA HQ's website. Thank you so much for attending, and we look forward to having you all back again tomorrow for another great micro webinar.